It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order and start with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Next I have is, we have everybody already, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so now we have is approval of today's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of claims for payment of 9/30/2020.
I'd make a motion to approve the claims for payment dated 9/30/2020.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Utility permits. I have two.
I'd make a motion to approve utility permits UT-20-032 and UT-20-033 as presented. Both of them are for Iowa Power and Light Company.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Both of them also been installed underground.
Right.
Any other discussion? Hearing no more, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Let's unmute Taylor, see if he has anything for us.
Hey.
There you are.
So last week, our concrete crew did 4 experimental patches. I sit on the research board, so, you know, they kind of look for people to do this stuff with. And it's in conjunction with our own DOT and the Minnesota DOT. So we did 2 on D65 and 2 on D41. And it was mixed results, some good, some bad for something they haven't worked with before. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, and the research guys will keep coming back too.
Sounds good. Anything else? Any news on our bridge? Gifford?
You'd have to ask Joe about that. I haven't talked to him since last week. As far as I know, the guardrail guy was still going to come this week.
Okay. And then it's
we also got a new dump truck yesterday for Chad, and during the summer, that's primarily going to be for shouldering rock on the shoulders of pavement.
Okay. Anything else for us?
Nope, that should be good.
Nope.
Not for me.
Then I will move on to application for use of courthouse grounds.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the application for use of the Hardin County Courthouse grounds. And this is from Crisis Intervention Services, who will be using the west lawn of the courthouse for displaying the wooden people for Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Okay, I will second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
And this is similar to what they've done in the past.
Yes.
With the 3-4 foot tall plywood cutouts that are purple.
Mm-hmm.
And Jody hasn't had a problem with any issues with them in the past. So,
Any other discussion? Hearing no more, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is the annual urban renewal report fiscal year 19 and 20. Which I have quite a bit. I don't know if somebody wanted to speak on this.
I don't know. It's a
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is the annual urban renewal report that I'm required to file with the state that tells the amount of outstanding debt that's tied to projects in urban renewal areas and TIF projects. And we have dwindled down to only 2 projects that are tied to debt now. One is Garden Wind Farm, and the other is the NRP rebate. So if you kept track of these from year to year, they are slowly disappearing. and that's a good thing. A lot of it was due to the refinancing in 2017 and paying off a lot of the debt tied to Garden Wind Farm and Pine Lake Corn Processors. So you'll notice that Pine Lake Corn Processors itself is no longer on this report, but the area of Pine Lake Corn Processors is on there because that's where NRP is located.
So we're getting everything paid down, and the taxes will be going, or we'll be collecting tax on everything here in the next probably couple of years then. And it will be going.
I forget if we have 3 years left or 4 on Garden Wind Farm. I forget each year which one I'm looking at as to how far out it goes without the debt schedule in front of me. But I really think it's 3 years for Garden Wind, but it might be 1 payment left in that 4th year.
We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so good.
Absolutely.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the annual urban renewal report for fiscal year 2019-2020.
Discussion?
Just looking at the page 13, the fiscal year of last payment for Garden Wind Farm is fiscal year 2022.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Better.
Hearing no more, roll call.
Renee.
Aye.
BJ.
Aye.
Lance.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have is authorized auditor to enter into an agreement for receipt of grant.
So we already received approval for the HAVA funds grant, sub-grant of the CARES Act for Iowa. And I brought that to you. We were made aware, counties were, of another grant that was from the Center for Tech and Civic Life. And auditors were encouraged to apply for it because it wasn't very lengthy process. And then if you were awarded funds, it was based on your registered voter numbers. So we were awarded $6,615. And we can use this not only for COVID expenses, but to also upgrade equipment that we use for technology with the election. So it was really a good deal to get last minute that a lot of counties participated in. And I just need you to authorize me to sign the grant as the recipient as Hardin County Auditor. Not me personally, but my office.
Okay, Lance, I'd make a motion to authorize the Hardin County Auditor's Office to enter into the agreement for the receipt of the grant from the Center for Tech and Civic Life.
I will second it.
It's been seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
BJ.
Aye.
Renee.
Aye.
Lance.
Aye. Motion carries. Next we have is tax abatement for mobile home. Michelle, on by chance? She is not. Okay. Well, what we have is a mobile home that was destroyed in a fire. They wrote a letter. I was wondering, since our trailer was totally destroyed by fire on August 12th, 2020, if there is any way, since I paid the taxes for the last year, if the taxes could be taken off the books because the insurance claim did not pay them. The trailer was a 16 by 80 built in 1999. It was a Dutchman according to the Iowa Code 445.62. I had the trailer paid off. I was paying the insurance monthly. I am enclosing the article from the newspaper, which they did. Michelle wrote us a letter as well. Michelle has attached the documents for the request of the abatement of tax for reason of the fire. The letter from the owner of the mobile home article newspaper. Copy of the tax statement shows the amount of taxes we are taking. About the copy in the code section that gives you the authority to abate the tax. Mobile home taxes are not like real estate taxes. They're based on square foot. and the age of the mobile home and are taxed on the current year, not behind like real estate tax. So the payment that is due for September 2020 is for the time period of July 1st, 2020, December 31st, 2020. And March 2021 due date is for January 1st, 2021 and June 30th, 2021. It goes on that the title was destroyed by fire and they've applied for a new one so that they can jump this trailer and get it off the lot.
Okay, I would make a motion to authorize to approve the tax abatement request for the mobile home.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. And any discussion?
I do believe that the additional documentation, Iowa Code 445.62, does explain that we do have that authorization according to Iowa Code, and believe that this is definitely the right thing to do in this situation.
I agree.
Any other discussion? Hearing no more. Roll call.
Renee,
Aye.
BJ,
Aye.
Lance,
Aye. Motion carries. Next we have is a motion on Zoom chat features. Matt, you want to come up front and talk a little bit for us?
Lance, I'm going to ask that right out of the gate. I think I talked to Matt before the meeting. He'd like some time to do some additional research, talk to the vendor, get us a plan and some options of how we can effectively monitor and what those options are, how to monitor and utilize the chat. One of them that he's talked about would incur a $2,000 expense. So I would like to make the motion to table this until Matt can have some time to do his due diligence and give us a complete overview of the program and a recommendation. So that's my motion, is to table until next week.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Until then, all chat would be part of public records and printed?
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing no more, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion's tabled. Next I have is a change of status at the sheriff's office.
It's okay. I'd make a motion to approve the change of status for Cayden Hobson. It's a resignation as a dispatcher in the sheriff's office. Last day of work will be, or was, September 15th, 2020.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no more, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Emergency management update, or do you want to read Daryl's letter first?
I'll do the emergency management first.
Okay.
Thomas, you're up.
It's what you decide. All right, so COVID continues, but it is decreasing. The numbers last week, so the numbers are now coming out on Friday instead of on Monday. Last week we had 27 additional cases. We talked about this at the EOC meeting Monday. Part of this is people traveling together or doing things together without their social distancing or masking and not knowing, you know, if you travel out with somebody, a group, then you don't know if you're going to get sick in that time frame. It'd be just like having a heart attack. You're not going to know whether you have a heart attack during that time frame. So part of that is from a group that was doing a vacation together. But again, for the most part, the numbers are going down. Yesterday, IDPH also announced new guidelines for isolation of people that are exposed to other individuals with COVID. So the guideline is that if you and I meet and we both have appropriate masks on, and CDC has come out with guidelines that's 2 layers of material, 2 to 3 layers of material. It has to be, and both individuals have to have masks on during that time of interaction. If that's the case, you come down with COVID, I find out you had it, I still don't have to isolate, I just have to monitor symptoms. They backed off of isolating people for 14 days. So that's good news that and that also is going to help the school systems try and keep schools open instead of closing down and going to online and things like that. Statewide, I just pulled these numbers up this morning from the coronavirus Iowa.gov website. Right now there has been 88,000 that are positive, with almost 800,000 tested, which is 11%. But when you look at that in relation to the total population of Iowa, it's 0.3% of the total population. So I'd like to keep some perspective on that. But we're going to continue to meet. Then the other thing that came out, I think it came out this week, is that the feds are pushing out new point of care testing, rapid testing for COVID, and it's going to long-term care facilities, healthcare facilities. I just read a document from the White House this morning on my email, and it is that they're encouraging it to also go to schools to test staff at schools to be able to quickly find out if the staff are positive or not. It's not for testing kids, it's for adults. So that's another move that is helping get things, and they're looking at the reopening guidelines for long-term care facilities, because long-term care facilities have been completely shut down to visitors since March. So they're trying to get that, and they're working on that process of how they get visitors in, do testing, and still let visitors into family and things like that. So that's the COVID update. As far as the derecho, we are waiting for a decision from FEMA as to whether or not we will get individual assistance. Last week I updated you that we've been denied individual assistance. When I left here, Homeland Security called me and asked for a review of all the damage that we reported on the website. And so we sat down for 2 hours and went through probably 95% of the pictures that were on the damage. It was a virtual review of the damage. And we reclassified, I think it was around a dozen homes. We reclassified them from just affected up to major damage, and we put in, I think there was 4 or 5 that we actually listed as destroyed homes. And so Hardin County was added into an appeal letter with Jones County and with Clinton County. So we're waiting. That appeal letter was sent to FEMA last Friday, but it goes to Kansas City, then it goes to Washington. I did talk to Annette Sweeney last week also on Thursday, I believe. And she was going to express our concerns to Senator Ernst and Senator Grassley. She was going to see them on Friday. So we're trying to get that pushed through. Senator Sweeney was really good about saying we'll take, and I handed her the letter, actual letter. She took that letter to Grassley and Ernst the next day. So we're moving forward there. As soon as we get a decision, I will put that out. And then if we get that individual assistance, then we'll be looking again at having Department of Human Services, the office out of Waterloo, coming in to do applications for the emergency food assistance, because under the federal individual assistance, if you with power loss, their program helps resupply food to people that lost all the food in their freezers and everything, our prep food. So that's in the works. And then we'll also open up to make sure that we're getting applications out to people and that people have a place to come and apply for FEMA assistance.
Good.
So that'll add in. The only day from here forward, from this week forward, Thursday and Friday is still tied up, but from here forward, the court services is only going to be using the building on Tuesdays for jury selection. They won't be taking extra day in the week for a trial, jury selection and trial. We've capped them off at using the Tuesday for jury selection. Leaving me out of the office for 2 to 3 days is a little difficult to continue work when I'm not in my office where I can get to my paperwork and that kind of thing. So
They're still doing the one, aren't they using it
they're
tomorrow
using
and
it
Friday of this week?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
next week it'll just be Tuesdays.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think there's one
more
I think
week,
there's 1 week in December that they were kind of looking at, but from here to December, that whole thing can change.
True.
And in fact, tomorrow can change by tonight at 4 o'clock.
Right.
They,
If I'm plea or something.
Yeah. Somebody changes their mind, puts in a motion or whatever, they can change that. So
And you're
we're
still,
moving forward.
you're still set up for the election then with Jesse?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that can't be changed at this point.
Just make sure.
Yeah, no, it'll all be set up, and we have, I haven't received them yet. I think they'll be coming in this week. The plexiglass for partitions between, because we were doing that for DHS to come in originally. Those haven't come in yet, but we certainly should have them by election time, so we'll be able to separate those areas with plexiglass also.
Okay. Well, thank you. Any comments? Renee or DJ, would you like to go ahead with that?
Yeah, Daryl dropped this off to me. He's in court this week, so he's not going to be able to attend to give his comments himself. So he said, kudos to the courthouse staff, Jody Mesh, Matt Jones, Michael Pierce, and Thomas Creighton, and all that have helped make possible jury trials during COVID. The first trial was held last week, a civil jury trial. A survey of the jurors gave top marks to the safety precautions taken. They had high praise for the EOC facility and the rearrangement of the courtroom. I know it is a lot of extra work, but it pays dividends. Thank you. So
That came from
I do
Daryl, right?
appreciate it. Yes, from County Attorney Daryl Meyer.
Well, from there, let's go ahead and open the public comments. They can unmute themselves. They should be able to unmute themselves. Any public comments?
Lance, this is Donna.
Go ahead.
First, I'd like to comment on the derecho. While all these people are being thanked, no one has yet thanked the many, many volunteers across the county who gave their time, their physical labor, and their equipment to help clean up the mess that was left by that storm. I think all of those volunteers need to be thanked as well as county employees. Regarding COVID-19, even though Governor Reynolds has said it's not necessary to isolate if you've been wearing masks appropriately, the CDC still recommends isolation if you have been exposed. Hardin County, since August 1st, has again more than doubled its numbers, which is a bit more concerning since on August 1st, they were even higher than June 17th. Across the U.S., since school has started, children of school age have had increased positivity test results up to more than 10%. And I would like to make those facts known. Thank you.
Thank you. And Donna, I will agree with you 100% on all the volunteers. They do need a thank you, and you are right, and I'd like to agree with you on that.
I would too.
Is there any other public comments? Hearing no more public comments, I will go to other business.
I have no other business.
I have nothing, Lance.
Nothing here. I could ask for adjournment or recess.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're adjourned.